All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, warshippers of all ages, welcome to the international bracket here of King of the Sea 14. For the first time, Chinese players are joining players from North America, Europe, and the Southeast Asia server. And that is where we are starting today. Here in the green, we are looking at our very first Chinese team, LBSR, fielding St. Vincent, Kremlin, Des Moines, Hindenburg, Napoli, and a 4-destroyer lineup, Gearing, Marceau, Shimakaze, and Ragnar. Painzor, what has BONKZ got cooking on the south end of the map?
4 bonks in the red team for this game. We have an Ohio, St. Vincent, Des Moines, Venezia, Napoli, Alexander Nevsky, double gearing, and a Grozovoy. Something we haven't really been seeing too much of on EU. We haven't really seen much of the Grozovoy. Have you had that much on NA?
We've seen a bit of Grozovoy on NA. That longevity, the heel, and the 12-kilometer torpedoes that ship received a couple of patches ago have actually made a noteworthy impact. So I'll be curious to see if that plays in here. But it has come up in the past.
So I haven't really seen anything too spicy with the builds over on my team. Have you got anything spicy with yours? I do see a Venezia. Like, the Venezia just existing is relatively spicy for EU. This is not something we usually run. We have generally just gone with, kiting cruisers, Nevskys, Des Moines and smoke screens, all that kind of stuff. And we generally don't really see this kind of kitey stuff on EU for this map as well. We usually run very, very heavy Des Moines, running up to the one line, to the A1 corner, the A10 corner, and the J1 corner. It's very confusing when you get these mini-maps.
We've seen quite a bit of Venezia on NA. We have seen several teams run one in their lineup for that potential destroyer slap. And sometimes that has been a big deal. I remember at least one game in the NA playoff weekend, the NA regional finals weekend, we had at least one or two incredibly significant Venezia salvos that absolutely changed a game. And I think if you bring that ship, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that one or two key SAP salvos on an opposing destroyer to give them the opportunity to really make an impact there.
So do you want to get in the initial deployments? Yeah, I'm just taking a look at the red team. We do have a nice little gearing and Des Moines combination going into the B cap. Going to smoke up that Des Moines. Going to have full radar control of a B. Over at the A cap, we have the single Grozovoy, who's going to be backed up by that Venezia, probably in a kiting force, along with the Ohio backing up. Meanwhile, over to C, we sent gearing, St. Vincent, Napoli, and the Nevsky. What have you got for the green team?
Well, LBSR's definitely chosen a much more A-heavy deployment here, and you can kind of start to get the impression that LBSR is going to push down the 1, 2, 3 line over here with their forces. They're going to grab A, and then BONKZ is trying kind of the reverse of that on the other side of the map. A bit of a counterclockwise, what my buddy Lord Zath would call toilet bowl action here. But we'll have to see if because when you're obviously there's forces on both sides of the map ready to try and defend those caps. So we'll have to see how it shapes up. But CCA generally turns into a north-south fight eventually, most of the time.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing, the B cap is going to be taken very early, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any way for the green team to contest. And it's just going to be a case of which team can get their forces rotated through this toilet bowl action more rapidly. And I think currently looking at it with just the Venezia and the Grozovoy as the kiting force over at A, I think that should be a much easier thing to roll over rather than the Napoli, Hindenburg, and Shimakaze. Spotting into that Shimakaze is going to be very difficult, considering the only thing they have for that is the gearing and Nevsky combination, and you have this firing squad waiting for it of the Napoli and Hindenburg. It's like, okay, you're going to smoke up here, we're going to rain down shells at you while you're spotted. Our Shimakaze is going to outspot your destroyer while we do this, and we're going to get some decent damage on it while we do this. So that's going to be a bit painful to push into. Meanwhile, this Grozovoy Venezia, it's going to be slightly easier to push away.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that BONKZ has got their work cut out for them here over on the 10 line. I mean, they've got I like where they're going with the deployment. I just think that dislodging the Hindenburg, the Napoli, and the Shima, and of course the Ragnar, that's Starry, not far away. Like, he's absolutely able to support this capture zone if they want to push in, is going to be a bit of a challenge. At the moment, though, there's not really a tremendous need. BONKZ has now picked up the A cap. So, I mean, they're taking up two caps, one cap. Game's pretty even. We're 5 minutes in.
We have a single point of damage done with Venezia. That's about all that's been done so far.
It's not been a lot of damage traded so far.
Yeah, we do see a couple of salvos are now going in towards the B cap. I think the Des Moines is somehow spotted, and he is full broadside to that St. Vincent, who was trying to cross-shot him down here. This might be a painful salvo, actually. Yeah, that was kind of painful.
He definitely felt that. They were trying to sneak Killstar out of there, I guess. And I was going to point out his position there on that island, very strong for the early B cap, but once Con Hannah got that St. Vincent down into the corner, Killstar was going to have a hard time holding on to that. And now it looks like they're also going to rotate Starry's Ragnar back to pick up B, or at least contest B a little bit.
Yeah, that Des Moines, the idea is they want to rotate that back and pair it with the gearing, and then he can back up the Venezia and Grozovoi to try and deny this push coming into them. Unfortunately for them, the Des Moines has been repeatedly spotting on his way out of there, and he's lost a fair chunk of HP, and it's HP that he's not going to be getting back. He's like I think there was a bit of Citadel damage in there. That is about as much as he's going to be able to heal for now.
Well, BONKZ has not been idle now, pushing into the sea cap, trying to start to wrap this St. Vincent around the top of the map. Sometimes when we see teams take this position, one way or the other, whether they're trying to, whichever one of the corners they wrap into, they take their time with it. Sometimes you see teams take too long with it, but none of that happening here in this game. We're not even 6 minutes in. Both teams already starting to flex the muscles, make the turn at their respective caps here in the corners, and start to move back towards mid.
The Ragnar in the middle has started opening up on this red Des Moines. He's being forced further and further back, and I think trying to retreat him out from that island has done more harm than good. Sure, if they'd left him there, he would have had to deal with the Kremlin and St. Vincent that would both be pushing him, and there's not really much you could do about that when they get. But they didn't get him out fast enough, and he's taken a massive amount of damage on the way out, and now it's kind of debatable if he's going to even be able to actually perform that DPM job, I think sitting in the smoke screen with the gearing to hold back this pushing flank. We did see that the Grozovoi has been caught in a radar over the air cap, and he will have the Marceau and Des Moines plus St. Vincent all raining down shells at him. Kremlin as well is also getting the shots off. He's down to half HP, still burning, double fire.
Citadel's definitely in trouble there. The fires are what's getting him lit right now because he's outside of the radar bubble, but with the fires burning, his detection is just high enough that Verstappen's Marceau behind him is picking him up on the surface, and it
10
looks
seconds
like
till he gets damage control back.
Yeah, he's got a bit of time here. He's going to sneak away just barely on a sliver of HP.
Yeah, he will be able to heal a large chunk of that back. He will be able to get 2 heals in. That should take him about back up to half HP. It's going to take up a very long time to get back up to there, though.
Yeah, so the LBSR push at A working very, very solidly. Now, we didn't mention it a minute ago. We kind of got busy looking at other things, but the LBSR retreat up at C, also some damage going in up there. Little Lemon taking a good chunk earlier, and they're continuing to try and bring that ship under fire. And Gugu Shimakaze is also down low. I guess they must have caught him with a Nevsky radar somewhere along the way.
I think they must have caught him with a torpedo, looking at this torpedo spread just next to him. I think there's one missing from that question.
Let's see. Those are gearing torps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, those are 10 torps.
Yeah, he must have just eaten the Nevsky radar.
I think you know what it might be? Cannoli might have caught him on the surface. I'm betting if I look. Yep. That's a legendary gearing, so he and the Shima have about the same detection, and Cannoli's got more friends to shoot at him.
Yeah, it looks like Cannoli only took a very little bit of damage from that. So I was surprised that the Hindenburg and Napoli didn't get more out of that. It must have caught him between reloads, and just there must have just been maybe a big St. Vincent hit. That seems like the most likely outcome.
Cannoli in a bit of a pickle here, having to maneuver through this torpedo salvo without taking anything. He should be fine though.
He should be, but
he moderated his speed. He had a nice little gap there. He's good to go. BONKZ now losing control of the A cap.
Yeah, this push has happened much more successfully for the green team. They have managed to get both caps, and they have also taken B with the rotation from the Ragnar going back through there, forcing the Des Moines back out. And they are way up on points right now. They currently have 6 minutes left until they win this map. 9 minutes on the clock for BONKZ, however, but they can potentially get back into a cap. They are rotating their gearing, and Des Moines potentially have the opportunity to get back into the B cap should they want to try and capture that. Since there's no real radar pressure over that, they can probably slip their gearing in there with the Des Moines back it up.
So now if you're LBSR, you need to consolidate what you've got, right? You've got to consolidate your holdings. There's almost no way for BONKZ to get back into the A cap. Certainly no easy way. And so now you know your play has got to be at B, which means and LBSR can read the map. They know that they've got to kind of sneak some forces around, try to maneuver to protect the B cap. You can kind of see this with Conhanna's St. Vincent charging straight up the 3 line, just trying to get back into position while they leave the Kremlin over here to kind of guard the back door.
Yeah, that Kremlin there, he's not going to be in much danger. He has, he's got a couple of heals available. He's going to park behind this rock, and that team cannot push back into him. The Venezia does not want to be pushing face first into that. The Grozovoi is already heavily wounded. The Gearing and Des Moines don't have a smoke screen ready to push back in, and the Ohio would have to get a full turn in if he wants to start getting some sort of repush happening at A, which means that it's all going to be about how they can rotate off this. The Ragnar and Marceau for the green team have pulled back north of B cap, so they're no longer into this push, which means you have 5 kiting ships kiting away from just 3 at the minute. There's the Gearing, Des Moines, and the Kremlin that are all being kited away from. The St. Vincent is also making the rotation up with the B, which means they need to do something with this 5-ship kiting force that is no longer good for them.
Now, I like LBSR's board position, but I think that BONKZ has been trading better because if you look at the health pools, there are 2 LBSR ships. That's the Hindenburg up north. That's Little Lemon. And Revenge's Kremlin down south are actually looking a little rough. And if BONKZ can continue to focus on those ships and convert those kills, that could actually be a significant points game. I mean, it will be a points game, but my point is that could significantly impact this game. You can see now the Napoli smoke. They're trying to use the Napoli smoke to cover Lemon's retreat. It's working. Or excuse me, that Shimakaze smoke. My apologies.
Yeah, this Shimmer smoke screen is going to mean that they have to spend a lot more time up here committed. Like, that's going to be like 2 minutes of smoke screen that they've got, and they're only 3 minutes away from winning. And Hindenburg is a very slow ship. The Hindenburg is going to struggle to get out of this, but this smoke screen should extend the Hindenburg's life. Look, he has nowhere left to kite to, by the way. He is literally on the border.
No, they're going to pick this kill up, I think, eventually. He is spotted again now. Cannoli picking him up on the surface now that he's out of the smoke, and he's going to have to turn.
There is the possibility that they can bring up the St. Vincent to intercept the things that are pushing into him. The gearing has had to drop the smoke screen for the Alexander Nevsky. There's a second Vincent there. I think I just saw Shimakaze getting chunked as well. I'm not sure what was that about. Oh, it's the Ragnar getting caught out in the middle. Yeah, the Ragnar is like very much caught out in front of this Napoli. The shell's coming in from the Nevsky as well. He could be in a lot of danger here.
Everyone's shooting at Sorry Party's Ragnar here in the B cap.
Yeah, we have Grozovoy on that. We
some
have
some Shimakaze torpedoes going into SW's Napoli there in the background. Starry is well caught by this radar.
He seems to be out of it now. He looks like he's okay. That's his own radar.
Oh, excuse me, that's his own radar. My apologies. He was lit on the surface, I guess.
He was lit. I'm not sure. I think he was just hard spotted by the Napoli pushing around that corner there.
8.5 minutes to play. We have had a lead change here. LBSR moving out to about a 50-point lead and growing there on the strength of their cap advantage. But they've got at least 2 ships that they cannot afford to lose, or that they're going to lose those points. And I don't think there's a way they can protect them in the end.
I think the only option that they have right now is if they can get their St. Vincent in play, but I think he's a little bit caught up with all these torpedoes north of the B cap. That's currently blocking his entire, I want to go do something over there. The gearing, doing the hard spotting on the Hindenburg with the Nevsky and Vincent behind it means they should be able to convert this kill. There's nothing going to save him now. He doesn't have heal available, doesn't have damage control for 60 seconds. He's burning out on the border. That will give a little bit of a point swing back to...
That'll just about tie the game up again, I think, when those points go in. We'll find out here in a sec.
It's not quite
flips
enough.
The score back.
It's not quite enough, though. We do see there is still a 20-point advantage, and
that's BONKZ, though. BONKZ, that's what I'm saying. There's a lead change. So BONKZ briefly taking the lead, right? Yeah. They're going to lose it again because of the cap advantage. But as ship starts to fall, you have to wonder if they can actually start to make a play for that B cap.
Do see a radar coming out of the Des Moines next to the B cap. He's not going to quite be picking up this Ragnar, which is, I think, his intended target. They were hoping to try and convert that kill, but it looks like they're not going to be picking up anything at all. He is going to be spotted firing, trying to farm out. I think he's trying to get some shots on... Yeah, he's trying to farm out that St. Vincent there, but at this point in the game, I don't think that Vincent's the kill that you need to be looking for. I think you want to rotate that Des Moines off and try and get him involved in something. We need to get one of the... What Red Destroyers really needs to step on this B cap immediately. You have a Grozovoy in position, potentially do it, a gearing in position as well, and they're also bringing the northern gearing in position. The Napoli looks like he wanted to do it, but he's really no longer got the health pool for it. He's smoking up. Is he going for it?
Well, they are running out of time here, right? We're 90 seconds now from an LBSR win. These guys can see it too. They know they have to get converted kill quickly or step onto the cap as soon as possible. Ragnar's radar is down. No, he just put it up. But Cannoli, look how close Cannoli is riding the edge of this radar. He can't see this line, of course. He's about to discover, there it is. He's about to discover it's up. He'll duck back out of it briefly.
Yeah, no one's even going to have time to get the salvos off on him there. That was like with the render delay of 5 seconds, and Ragnar being the only one that could really shoot at him, he's just like, all right, I'm going to put my radar up just to try and spot this gearing, but I can't shoot it myself, otherwise I'm going to end up lit, and I probably might go down for it.
Now 60 seconds, and that Ragnar is the only way for them to spot Cannoli as once he steps onto the B cap. So we're well over a minute and a half away from Starry's radar getting back into the game, and now the Grozovoy, that Citadel, who almost lost his ship earlier, he's onto the cap as well.
Yeah, with this Grozovoy sat in the cap, it's not going to be enough to win the game for them, but it will stem the tides of bleeding for now. They are still going to have to pick up... is that going to be enough if they get the cap now?
Well, see, the other struggle they're going to have is that, BONKZ is about to be over 900 points, and LBSR is already there, so we're a stage of the game where kills become critical. The right kill at the wrong time will flip the score, and you can find yourself losing a game that you very, very likely should have won.
Yeah, it looks like LBSR do need to step back on the B cap.
Look at Khan Hanna. Khan is turning brodside out in front of these torpedoes.
That is...
that could be catastrophic. He's going to take at least 2 of these.
Oh, he's down. He's
down to 8K.
He's got a heal
His heal is 55 seconds away. This is a huge pick if BONKZ can get this kill.
that was an unforced error there. You want to get turned out to try and like start
He's
tightening
trying
away.
to get to a different island. They are going to get him, and there it is. BONKZ with their second kill of the game moves out to a 15 seconds on the timer. They're going to win this game unless LBSR gets a kill right now.
I don't think there's anything available. There's literally nothing on the board.
Doesn't look
for
like
them.
it. They've done a really good job of protecting their health and rotating the St. Vincent up north.
Des Moines pops his radar. They might be able to try and get something onto Star Parry and the Ragnar there, but I
No,
think it's too late.
It's too late. And BONKZ, with a little bit of a come-from-behind victory there, wins their first game of the day here, knocking off the Chinese second-place team.
Yeah, that was a very slow-paced game with a lot of like. So the toilet bowl action that you were talking about early on, we saw the toilet bowl. We just didn't see most toilet bowls. Everything goes towards the middle, towards the end of the flush. We just didn't see the flush happen fast enough.
That's true. And I still feel like I feel like BONKZ played that just about as well as they could have. They knew they couldn't defend A. That was never going to happen. They surrendered it. They made a play for B late once they had started to pick up a little bit of ship advantage with that J-hook around. And they almost lost their St. Vincent on the north flank. That was Kermit. He got down to about 10,000 health at one point. They had to turn him around, speed boost him away because LBSR was starting to try and focus him out. Well, that was an excellent first game of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Right down to the wire. Let's go back to the analyst desk and let the boys chime in. We'll see you again in a few minutes.